Hey guys, I'm here to get into a character analysis of Inherent Vice, which was directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, released in the year 2014. Stars Joaquin Phoenix, and this is just an incredible back sort of private investigator. I think one of the absolute greatest characters of Paul Thomas Anderson's filmography is he's just displayed navigating Los Angeles throughout in the year 1970. This plot's extraordinarily overwhelming and complicated, as Phoenix is just sort of portrayed as a low-key kind of demeanor all throughout this energy, which just makes for such a great, just kind of timeless sort of hazy energy and angle. And it seems like Phoenix serves as something of a moral compass towards all this, which is just a character who's genuinely invested in helping people around him. This is a very hazy kind of atmosphere, and it seems like Phoenix is just always out to be living in the moment. Just an extraordinarily likable hippie sort of character of the time. This is like almost I've always kind of considered this to be the ultimate 21st century angle on all this stuff, and I think that this is just, yeah, Phoenix really is one of the greatest characters to look up to in all this. And you got Josh Brolin. He's just kind of this he can't stand the hippies, and he's this LAPD detective who's portrayed as both absurd and very harsh. And he kind of increasingly reveals himself as one of those complicated characters in this entire film. And he also kind of has the funniest bits too. It generally feels like there's a total comedic, just screwball kind of angle with this whole character arc. And he kind of just strongly represents the 1950s era and how it clashes with the 1960s, metaphorical by his relation with Phoenix, and ultimately they're both in fear of what's to follow in the 1970s. And yeah, Owen Wilson, just a very just this musician character who just really reveals a lot of complex shades. I feel like this is a character who's longing to be reunited with Jenna Malone, and I think his scenes with Phoenix are quite magical because it's quite a contrast. And it feels like Wilson seems less grounded than Phoenix does. I think Phoenix kind of seems like the more down to earth sort of hippie character, and it seems like Wilson's just kind of always searching for a sense of belonging and perhaps a meaning in his life. And this is just a real original spark that Wilson and Phoenix have. Very subtle and powerful Wilson performance and character from start to finish. And Catherine Waterston is just this. She's just an amazing, a stunning, mesmerizing femme fatale character who embodies transition from kind of the free spirit idealism of the 1960s to just sort of the tone of greed and paranoia of the 1970s. And Waterston sort of serves as the catalyst of this whole story and kind of sets it all in motion. Is she's the one that Phoenix is ultimately the most affectionate about, and then it's kind of like an ultimate symbol of this cultural shift, you could say. Waterston displays a very complex femme fatale character. Is ultimately humanized by way of just a warmth that's displayed in all the complexity and all these angles. Then there's just so many more great ones on the side here. Like Reese Witherspoon is great. I love seeing her moments with Phoenix, who seems like she's in a more corrupt position than Phoenix is. Well, Phoenix is just kind of just bummed out by, well, I don't know, but there's like a bit of a bummer tone to all this. That's displayed wonderfully. Benicio del Toro is a very helpful kind of character to Phoenix and guiding him through this entire mystery. There's just all kinds of great side characters. You got Jonah Newsom as the narrator through all this, kind of like a guru figure to the Phoenix. And then Jenna Malone, just an amazing character. I love all these scenes that they're displayed here, along with Jordan Christian Heron, Hong Chow, Jenny Berlin, Mayo Rudolph, Michael Kenneth Williams, Martin Short, Jasper Pierce, Martin Donovan, Eric Roberts. The list just goes on. This is just perhaps I think the most characters of all P.T. Anderson films. They're one of the most just colorful, aesthetic guys all around. This is just an extremely colorful character piece, and I think the screenplay just reveals itself as more upon every viewing, upon every analysis. It's just like, wow, there's a lot of motion happening. Usually, there's a bunch of character interactions in all these scenes around just a very hazy and colorful display. This is just mesmerizing from start to finish.